Good morning, viewers, and welcome to another Onside SA Soccer Show. Paul will not be here with me this morning, so joining me is our regular super sub and Manning Rangers league winner, Gavin Radford. Gav,
Morning,
thanks for coming in.
Yeah, good to be here.
Okay, and a bad week for our sport, but let's talk about the positives. Our ladies team, Banyana.
Yeah, I think they just lacked a little bit of experience. I think they're still growing as a team. I think that a couple more years' time where they'll get into a bit more of a professional setup, I think they'll be competitive. At the moment, still a couple of years beyond.
Yeah, just having a look at their squad. You know, prior we come on the show, and there wasn't many of the ladies that play in like European leagues and the bigger leagues. Now with all these, Man Uniteds, Man Cities, Barcelonas, Leons, PSGs investing millions in the ladies' football, I think it's time the Chiefs and Pirates got involved to try and help our girls.
Yeah, 100%. I think we've got some talent. I think the talent is there. It's just got to get unearthed. I think the leagues have to become more competitive. As long as the girls get more playing time and maybe playing a few more games against some of the bigger nations, then they can see how professional they are and see where they're lacking. Because at the moment, we have a few girls that can play. I know we play a bit of a counter-attacking because we don't trust our system at the moment. But I think we didn't do too bad.
Yeah, I thought we were okay. I just think that we've got to have a look at the coaching, especially at a younger age for the girls. And to me, I would go and get a guy who we played under for many years. I'd go and get Clive Barker to help coach the coaches, who in turn can help coach the players.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of emphasis on the boys at school playing soccer, playing rugby, cricket. I think it's now for the girls to start stepping up. Do they want to play football at school as well? So that brings the system through, and then the girls can take and join clubs and then move on to the bigger sides. I think the Chiefs and Pirates, then they need to step it up to get the girls playing.
Yeah, Sundowns too. They've got to start doing something to help them. Now, before we go on to our AFCON, which starts on Friday in Egypt, the Ballon d'Or betting has been out for a while. Now, Virgil van Dijk is favoured at 7-10. Lionel Messi is at 9.5 to 10. Gav?
I think it's a goal scorer versus a defender. I think they're going to look at Virgil's performance getting Liverpool to the Champions League. I mean, he's done a phenomenal job to the Liverpool defence. And really, without him, I don't think they would have achieved as much as they did this year. So I'm leaning more to Virgil to get it.
You think so? I just think that Lionel Messi, I know he does have more help, but this year's been his best year for some time. He's lost Iniesta, Suarez has been poor. The less we say about Coutinho, the better. He's had two real bad games. The 4-0 game at Anfield, you couldn't really blame him. They got swamped. And they did lose the Copa del Rey final to Valencia. But people forget how well he played in the first leg. I think he may win it. But the Champions League is always a decider. And with the Gold Cup, the South American competition going on now, Argentina lost to Colombia on the weekend. They drew 1-1 with Paraguay this morning. I think that could affect him, but I wouldn't be taking 7-10.
Yeah, I think the European teams and coaches will look at who got to the final, who won it. I think Liverpool outplayed Barcelona in that home leg of theirs 4-0. I think that swung it for them. I think even in the final, Virgil had Spurs Harry Kane in his back pocket the whole game. I think he cemented it. I don't see Messi getting it through. Even though Messi carried Barcelona for long periods of the year. I think if he got injured, then Barcelona wouldn't be the same team. Whereas Virgil, I think he really did well for Liverpool.
So 7-10 is your type of a bet? Or?
Yeah, I'll take the 7-10.
Right, you've got 2 weeks to get
it. Kills me that I'm going to say a Liverpool player will get an award like that.
But in fairness.
Yeah, he's a great player.
We won't be talking about the signings because everything you read in the newspaper nowadays, they're contradiction upon contradiction. There is a FIFA scandal involved with Michel Platini, but nothing has come out yet, so we won't discuss that. But it's on to the AFCON 2019. Fortunately, South Africa, our boys, Bafana are in. But we'll kick off, we'll go through all the groups, try and give you who we think will win the group. We'll then go to the outright and top 3 before we do the fixtures. Gav, Group A, the host Egypt, 1-3.
Yeah, I think they will win the group. I think they've got everything in their favour. The conditions are there, the players. I mean, they've got a good player in Salah up front. I think a lot of pressure on him. I mean, he can't afford to get injured. I mean, the crowd has come to see him. He's their saviour to win this tournament. But I think Egypt for me, 1-3, there's not really any value in that, but definitely they will get through.
Yeah, I think if you want to add Egypt into one of the teams to win it, obviously you can't take Egypt and Egypt. I like the Congo Democratic Republic. They've got some good players. Yannick Bolasie has been one of my favourites when he was at Palace. He went to Everton, got injured. This team will score plenty of goals. I worry about the defensive side of it.
Yeah, I think that the three teams outside of Egypt, they're going to be fighting each other. I mean, to get through, you're going to have to win at least one game and maybe draw another. I mean, I wouldn't count Zimbabwe out of it. I mean, they're not bad. They're competitive. The local teams, the boys are there. They're going to be fighting. But yeah, I can't see Egypt missing.
They've got good players.
Yeah, some good players. They'll be fighting.
Yep. On to Group B. So it's Egypt for us in Group A. On to Group B, where several of the guys I've been speaking to fancy Nigeria to win the competition. 5 to 10?
I think 5 to 10 is a great bet. I think definitely they'll win this group. Madagascar, I think it's their first time in the tournament. Burundi, I mean, I haven't seen much of them, but I think they're not going to be in the same class as Nigeria. So really, Nigeria has to beat Guinea to go through.
Now, Guinea. Every Liverpool player on his hands and knees. Naby Keita, the guy they played, I think it was £70 million for him, has been injured. But reportedly, he's been training Exeter to try and get fit. So he'll be the main hope for Guinea to try and upset Nigeria. But I agree with Gav. I think 5 to 10 Nigeria, good things to win the group.
I mean, they've got some great players, Nigeria. I mean, have a look at it. John Mikel's come back to the team. They need him. He's a solid midfielder. Alex Iwobi plays for Arsenal.
No,
so they've got the class. They've got the class. They will win that group.
They'll go a long way, Nigeria. On to Group C. Senegal, Algeria, Kenya, Tanzania. 7 to 10 looks a nice bet, Gav.
Yeah, I think Nigeria to Senegal to win the groups is really appetizing. I mean, you got some great players in Senegal. I mean, they've really got some tough players. I mean, the goal striker up front for them.
Sadio
Mane, I mean, he's the players that come to watch him as well. I just hope that they have a good tournament because they have got a decent team. They played well. They just need to live up to their reputation now.
I just think they're the deepest team. Koulibaly at the back, who everybody's trying to be signed from Napoli. And remember in the World Cup, Gav, they were there. They got knocked out on yellow cards. First team ever to be eliminated that way. You know, Algeria, Riyad Mahrez, they got Slimani, they're both Man City boy Mahrez. I think they'll be a contender, but these big competitions,
Algeria just seem to stumble in these competitions. They've got some great players. I just don't know what it is with Algeria. And like you say, the players are there, the tournament is up there, their league is strong back home. They could be the dark horses to give Senegal a run, but I think Senegal will be too good. Kenya will putting a lot of emphasis on Victor Moana, who plays for Spurs. But I think he's one man in 11 that's going to have to step it up and play double.
I think they'll be well organised, Kenya always are, but the lack of goals concerns me. And Tanzania, done great to get there, but just don't know if they've got the quality to upset them.
They won't have the quality to upset the Algerians and Senegal. No.
Okay. On to Group D, where the Ivory Coast, Morocco, South Africa, Namibia. You give us a chance here?
Finished third, yes. No, my bet is Morocco. I think Morocco will do well in this tournament. They had a great World Cup. Tough to beat. Conditions will suit them. They're saying it's 36 to 40 degrees. Games have been played between, say, 4:30 and 10 o'clock at night. So, but I think the conditions suit Morocco. Ivory Coast got a great team, got lots of players. Can they play as a unit for the tournament? That's it. It's between Morocco and Ivory Coast.
You know, Herb Renard, the guy that's won 2, he won with Zambia and he won with the Ivory Coast. They don't concede goals. Now, if you remember in the World Cup in Russia, they drew with Spain and lost to Portugal. They nearly knocked Spain out. They drew 2-2. They were unlucky. They had a chance to knock them out. My only concern with them is, you know, can they score the goals at the right time? Now, they've got the Ajax centre forward, Ziyech, quality player. I think he was a guy that hit the post against Spurs in the semi-final.
100%. Good quality player, young player.
14 to 10, I agree with you. My only concern with the Ivory Coast, they've got Wilfried Zaha from Crystal Palace. They've got the new apparent Nicolas Pepe. I haven't watched much of him. He plays for Lille. He's an ex-wonder boy reportedly coming out of the French league. And Eric Bailly. I know United fans, we all remember him. He's been injured. But he's the linchpin at the back. So that's why 14 to 10 Morocco, Gav. I can side with you there. But, you know, I worry about South Africa. You know, Percy Tau doesn't perform.
I think we will hold our own. I think we will do well in patches of the games.
Yeah.
I just don't know if we have the firepower to hurt them, and someone that can back up Percy Tau up front.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be really competitive. I think the guys are fired up. The coach has said that the players are ready.
Yeah.
They can leave it out on the pitch, and that's what you must do every single game. You can't come in and say, "Oh, today we'll play well. Next week we'll have an off day." You've got to step it up in these tournaments from the word go.
Yeah.
Conditions. I'm hoping the pitches are all in good nick. It'll suit us. I think we mustn't play a counter-attacking game.
Yeah.
We must play the African way and have a go.
Yeah.
Because the top two teams, the Ivory Coast, Morocco, I mean, both these sides have got players playing in the French leagues, European leagues. Yeah. They've got some really quality players that can hurt you. Poor Namibia, I think they've come against the group of death for them, yeah. But yeah, the top two for me will do well.
Yeah, I think Namibia got 7 players playing in the PSL. That won't be easy, but the first game is going to be crucial for all of them. As long as you don't get beat, it does give you a chance to try and go through. On to Group E, where Tunisia, you remember, lost 2-1 to England. Remember, Harry Kane scored 2 goals late on. And a youthful Mali team who everybody seems to have going a long way. Angola, well organised, and Mauritania, who are making their debuts. 8-10 Tunisia?
I'm leaning towards Mali. I've always liked Mali. Big, strong players. I think if they've got a more youthful team into the tournament, again, physical. Tunisia like to keep the ball, try and play a European-style game. Yeah. I think where the Malians, they step it up and have a go. And like Angola, they will give you a run for your money if you're on top of your game. Poor Mauritania, good experience for them. Great for these small countries to get into these tournaments and showcase what type of talent that they have. But Tunisia and Mali should be too strong for the rest.
Yeah. Now, would you take 8-10 Mauritania to come last? Because I know a lot of the bets will come where the group winners and obviously team to finish last.
Yeah, more than likely.
Okay, so you'd be that way. All right, fair enough. Now we go on to the last group as Group F. Ghana, who the last 4 competitions have finished second twice and fourth twice. Cameroon, the holders. Benin, 10-1, and Guinea-Bissau, 32-1 to win the group. Is it Ghana?
Again, this group is a bit of a group of death. I think most of these teams are quite evenly matched.
Yeah.
Ghana, for me, I think they've got a couple of aging players, and I think Gaya that's come back.
He's
they've
back,
asked him to come back into the team. I mean, he must be pushing my age.
Yeah.
But yeah, quality player. If they can feed off him, maybe he can bring something to the table. Cameroon, I haven't seen too much of them, but they seem to be also in the transition of their team.
Yeah.
Benin, always tough to beat. And Guinea-Bissau, I mean, these guys can upset you at any time.
Yeah.
During
the
qualifiers.
In the qualifiers, big strong guys.
Yes, big
they
strong
boys. They won't go down without a fight. Now, the trick team is obviously Cameroon. You know, I was surprised Joel Matip, the Liverpool centre-half, wasn't included, but he's just said after the last competition where they won, he's not happy with the management. So they've got a lot of young guys. You know, Abu Baker, the centre-forward who scored the winner, plays for Porto. He's injured. I've got my doubts this time for Cameroon. Now with Ghana, Thomas Partey, the Atletico Madrid midfield player. But I just worry the AU brothers, Andre's the captain, and you're right about Cyan. He got dropped from the captaincy and pulled out the squad. The government have asked him to come back, so he's come back. I don't know, 2 competitions ago, I backed Ghana. They got beaten a penalty shootout by Ivory Coast. I don't fancy them this time, Gav.
I don't think they'll get past the quarterfinals. Both Cameroon and Ghana, I think, will struggle to get past the quarterfinals this year. I think that the teams are really caught up to them. They're just lacking something at the moment. It's not the same team of the past.
Yeah, I think they've aged together. We go on to the outright betting. Now, before we go on to it, just to let people know, there are 24 teams in the competition. 6 groups of 4. The top 2 teams go through, which is 12, and the 4 third best teams go through the knockout stages. Now, Gav, I've got a bone to pick about this. For me, you should either have 16 teams or 32 teams, so there's no, playoffs. I want 8 groups of 4, top 2 go through, no
100%,
excuses.
100%. You've got to set it out like that. You can't have lucky losers and people getting through the back door. I mean, the tournament should be designed. I don't know why they've done this to shorten it in the games, but it doesn't make sense.
No.
You've got to have 32 and break it down by the numbers, get your quarters, semis. Some teams are going to get through and then just get knocked out the next round because they're not going to be good enough. You want the cream to rise to the top, and they've got to get back to a proper format of a World Cup format, quarterfinal, semis, and you're through, not in between playoff games.
Yeah, I don't like the 3rd and 4th playoff. Now, there's 56 nations in CAF. everyone's trying to grow the game, so why not make it a 32-team competition?
Yeah, there's plenty of African teams that play football.
Yeah.
You might weaken in a few, might be a few weakened teams in a tournament, but that's how you grow. You've got to play the best so you can see where your faults lie, and then grow it from there.
Yeah, I agree. They've got to do something about it. Obviously, money could be a problem. Now, on to the outright. 4-1 Egypt.
Look, being at home, they've got everything in their favour. The
Yeah.
conditions, the ground, the supporters, the fans will be on them every day. But that builds pressure as well.
Yeah.
Like I said, they have a lot of pressure will be on Mo to get some goals for them. If the teams can keep him quiet, then they'll have a chance. I know that through their preparations, they used a lot of the youngsters, the under 23 players, and they were trying to rest a lot of their players and keep them fresh for this tournament. A lot of pressure on them to win this. But my lurker lies further down the page.
Yeah, I can't have Egypt. If Mo Salah, I know he got injured in the World Cup and they were disappointing in Russia. You know, look at a lot of the players playing in Zamalek, Al Ali, a lot of local players. Yeah, I know they're quite rightly favourites because they're their host, but 4-1 for me, it can't have me. Top three, obviously, if they get to the semi-final. Now, the top three is obviously the winner, runner-up, and whoever wins the third and fourth player. That's the third. So even money may be, but not for me. Senegal, Gav. Now, that's my team that I fancy. 11-2, 14-10 to get to the top three.
Look, if you look at the group games that they've got and maybe who they will play in the next rounds, you would think Senegal are the next best.
Yeah.
The amount of players that they're playing in Europe, they should be making semi-finals comfortably.
Yeah.
And then getting that little bit of luck to get you into the final. So 14-10 for top three, even that's a big price.
Yeah.
A lot of teams you don't even get that. But yeah, 11-2 on the head and 14-10 top three, good value.
Yeah, I think so too. Now, Ghana as a team, I can't have 13-2. I wouldn't even take 15-10 to get to the last three. But bearing in mind, of the 24 teams, 16 get to the knockout. So if you win 2 games, you're in the semis. But not for me, Ghana at 13-2, Gav.
No, I can't have Ghana. Like I say, they'll battle to get through to the quarters and get past that. I can't see them progressing.
Now, as I said earlier, 8-1 Nigeria. I've seen a few of the guys punt them. I think if they win the group and Senegal win the group, they clash in the quarterfinal, which is interesting. But 2-1 top three, Gav.
Look, they've got the players. I mean, they've got the players. They've got the pedigree. They've been here before. They know this tournament inside out. Can they step it up one more notch? Maybe them too might be a team that's just going over the hill with a couple of the aging players. But Nigeria really, they step it up in the big tournaments.
Yeah, good going forward. I just think they lack a little bit at the back. You know, Wilfred Ndidi, the new midfield player everybody seems to want from Leicester. They look like a lot of them will be well organised, but defensively is my concern. Now, this is my trick team in the competition, Ivory Coast. You just never know what you're going to get. Big and strong. 8-1 I wouldn't be taking, but 2-1 to get to finish in the top three, Gav, could be worth an interest.
Yes, could be really a value bet at 2-1 for top three. Like you say, they've got the players, they've got the strike force, they've got the midfielders. A lot of the African teams, you worry about the back four and the goalkeeper. It always worries me at the back with them. But going forward, they look like the team to beat going forward. Got some terrific players, a lot of pace in their team. And experience for playing in Europe. I mean, it counts a lot for them. I know a lot of the guys will say, but this is an African tournament and the players are Africans. But guys, come on, this is Ivory Coast. European-based players, Liverpool-based players.
Drogba and co.
They've got some really good players. I expect them to go far. 2-1, top three, good value.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to play them in the knockout stages. On to our second page. We've got Algeria. We've mentioned Riyad Mahrez. I just can't have them. Yeah, they just seem a little bit weak. Obviously, North African teams will be favoured playing in Egypt. But 33-10 may interest me, but not outright at 12-1.
No, I can't have Algeria. They just don't seem to get there. If you look at the history of them, they're in the tournaments with good teams. They come with big reputation, but they always just seem to fall flat. Not for me.
Yeah, I agree. Cameroon?
No, same thing with Cameroon. I've gone off Cameroon a couple of years now. They just don't seem to get there. They've got the players, but I think as a team, they just don't gel well enough for big tournaments. Yeah,
always seems to be controversy in the camp there. Now, Tunisia, good World Cup. They lost to England and Belgium.
Tunisia, a great team. I mean, they make the World Cup regularly. They've got good players. They go out there, they set their stall out, and then you've got to try and break them down. Yeah, they like to keep the ball. So if they get a little bit of luck, if they get a 1-0 lead in the game, it's going to be hard to peg them back. They will keep the ball and defend it. They're always making the Champions League and the African Champions League. So they've got the quality of the players.
Yeah.
Tough team to beat.
Now Mali, they're a young team. Should they be that short?
Well, I see you've skipped my team, Morocco, at 12 to 10, 12 to 1,
yeah.
and at 33, 28 to 10. I think they'll do well.
Yeah.
But Mali and South Africa, I think they fall in the same boat. Mali, you don't want to tackle them. South Africa, they will qualify for the next round, but I can't see them getting past the quarterfinals if they do get there. But I do hope that we have a good World Cup and the players do step up. Stuart Baxter says the players are ready. They've trained well. They're raring to go. We haven't been in these tournaments for a while, so have a full go. You come home, it's one of those things, but at least you had a go.
Yeah, I don't wondering. Now, Morocco are 10 to 1. I think they were 33 to 10 to get to the top 3. That's your play, Gav.
That's
Morocco.
my play, Morocco. I think this team, the conditions are going to suit them. They've got the players. I think this team's due a big game, big tournament. They go to the World Cup every year. They play well. This team is, for me, good value at 10 to 1, 28 to 10, 3 to 1, top 3. That's my value bet for the tournament.
Yeah. The only thing I worry about Morocco is they play well against the better teams. But when it tends to get physical, they do, for me, go missing. But at 10 to 1, I wouldn't blame you for having a small interest.
I'm just looking at that. It's their turn to turn their wheel. It's turning around for them. I think it's coming up for them. I think the conditions are going to suit well. I think the pitches will play well.
Yeah.
I think they've got some good players. They're really going to step it up.
And they've got a coach who's won it twice, Harv Renault, and they don't concede goals. Just got a funny feeling they'll go out on penalties. On to the games, which starts on Friday. Our first game up is Egypt against Zimbabwe. Opening 1-6, not a bit short?
It's really short for an opening game where the nerves are going to have to play a part.
Yeah.
I'm sure we go low on goals. I wouldn't go high on goals in an opening game. Teams will be feeling each other out. No one wants to make a mistake. Yeah. I think Egypt will win, but I'll go low on goals.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Now the Congo, this is my team to cause an upset in the group. I don't think they'll finish above Egypt. I think they'll be too good for Uganda. Now Uganda, goalkeeper plays for Sundowns, very good goalkeeper, but they're lacking up front.
Yeah, even money, 28 to 10, 22 to 10 in the draw. It's one of those games where you'll be leading maybe the home team in the draw on the page. But Congo, like you say, they're big, strong boys. Yeah. They like to get physical, and if you're not up to it, they can steamroll you. I would be leaning towards Congo at even money.
Okay, fair enough. Nigeria, too good for Burundi?
Yeah, Nigeria will be too strong. I think there could be goals in this game. Burundi stepping up for, I think it's their first tournament that they're in. Yeah. It might be a bit of an eye-opener for them and get caught up in the moment. I think Nigeria score early, it could be goals in this game. Yeah, I had a look at this market quite extensively. I went 15 to 10 Nigeria to score in both halves. Sorry, that was my play in that game. I think it was like 9 to 10 Nigeria to win by more than one goal. I think Nigeria will steamroll them. I agree with you there. Guinea, Madagascar, Gap, 6 to 10 Guinea? Yeah, good value bets. I think 6 to 10, very good. Madagascar coming in, small nation coming to the tournament. Another one of those teams that might be overawed. But, sometimes these teams do step it up and try and compete. But they might compete for 45 minutes and then the halftime break comes and kills them. But I'm leaning towards the 6 to 10 Guinea. Yeah, I agree. If Naby Keita starts, the key is going to be the first goal in all the games. You get it early, they've got to come at you and you can pick 100%. Them off. Now, 4 to 10 Morocco to beat Namibia. There's no real great value, but surely they should be too good for Namibia. No, they'll be too good for Namibia. That's my value bet, so I've got to go with the 4 to 10. Yeah. I think they'll be too strong. Now, Senegal, 1 to 3 over Tanzania. I mean, with the strike force of Senegal, you wouldn't be giving Tanzania too much of a chance. Yeah. But again, these big players, they also don't want to get injured early in the tournament. Yeah. But you would lean towards Senegal to win it. Yeah, I looked at that. It was even money to win by more than one goal. The score in both halves the same, 15 to 10. So that I looked at Senegal to win by more than one goal there. I think that 1 to 3 is a good thing. Algeria 5 to 10 against Kenya. Well, like I said, the boy, Victor Nyama, plays for Spurs. He's going to be doing some defending in this game. I think if Mahrez comes to the party and he gets going, I think the players play around him. They should win Algeria, but it could be a tough game for them for the day. But again, 10 o'clock at night, maybe they've got the best conditions to play in. It should be nice. So it'll be nice and cool late in the evening. Yeah. But I'm leaning towards Algeria to win that one. Yeah, I watched Kenya beat Ghana in the first group stage. Well organised, physical team. You just never know with Algeria, as I said. But if Riyad Mahrez gets going, I just think won't be too many goals in that game. Now, Ivory Coast, South Africa. When I looked at it, I thought 12 to 10 Ivory Coast, but obviously having a South African cap on, I don't really want to back against them. 12 to 10 gap. Yeah, You should be, in theory, taking Ivory Coast. I mean, 'cause we've only got locally based players. I think Percy Tau up front is our hope. Ivory Coast, I mean, quality all around the park.
Yeah.
You would think that if you're looking at a value bet, 12 to 10 would be it. But like you say, you don't want to back against your country and maybe get let down twice. Yeah, 12 to 10 looks very appetizing to take.
Yeah, it's nothing worse than having a bet against a team. You think it's great value, 12 to 10, but you hope your team wins, but you can't really see it. You never know. If we get off to a good start, but just hope we don't concede early.
I'm just worried that we don't score enough goals in the tournament. If you don't score enough goals in the tournament, you're going to battle through the rounds. And I think Ivory Coast have got plenty of goals in them, where South Africa, we're relying on maybe one player to do it for us. So I'm a little bit worried about that. And I think we're going to play a more defensive system. I just got this feeling we're going to try and get a point from this game. We might play very defensively and try and frustrate them.
Yeah.
So we concede late in the game without having a go. It's gut wrenching, you know.
Well, we play Ivory Coast first, then we play Namibia before Morocco. So if you get a point from this, will be a good result.
You've got to get a point. So you've got to get at least win one game and get a draw in another game.
And you should be through,
and you'll get through the groups. But yeah, tough game to start.
Yeah,
very tough game.
Easy.
Yeah.
On our last page, we've got, before it comes up, Tunisia, Angola. Now, I've watched Angola in the qualifiers. Physical team, not a Portuguese guys involved. Tunisia are a funny team. You know, well organised, but just worry about them up front.
Yeah, passionate supporters behind them. I think they have a big following in Tunisia.
Yeah.
They really get behind their team. Angola through the qualifiers, like you, I backed them a few times through the qualifiers. Big, strong boys, take no prisoners.
Yeah.
Tunisia, very much a ball-playing side, so it's going to be contrasting styles here. I'm leaning towards Tunisia to win by the odd goal.
Yeah, 6 to 10. I think it'll be a tight game. Mali too good for Mauritania?
Yeah, too good for Mauritania. They're first time at the tournament. I think Mali, big, strong boys. They get stuck into you early, sling the ball into the box, put them under pressure.
Yeah.
I think it could be a couple of goals in this game.
Yeah, no, a difficult group. We've got Cameroon against Guinea-Bissau. This will be physical, Gab.
Yeah, no prisoners in this game. Yeah, you got two big teams, big players. You know, you're looking at defenders at 6'5". You know, these guys are 100 kgs, 110 kgs, big boys.
Yeah.
Both sides, no prisoners. Whoever steps up for the game will win this one. You know, the betting's a little bit lopsided, 6 to 10 for Cameroon. So I don't really fancy them going through the tournament.
Yeah.
I think it draws a big runner in this game at 26, 28 to 10.
So do I.
And if theirs is going to be an odd goal either way, I see a lot of value in the 5 to 1 at Guinea-Bissau. But yeah, very tough game. Very tough
very
game.
direct team, Guinea-Bissau. Now, Andre Onana, he was the Ajax goalkeeper in the Champions League. I think he can expect a rough game here. Be up and unders. You know, obviously 6 to 10 Cameroon, but I think that's on name only. And the last game, Ghana, 6 to 10. I know they've got plenty of trouble inside the camp. Too good for Benin?
They should be too good. I mean, again, they come with a lot of pedigree into these tournaments, Ghana. But they're just lacking something. And the Ayew brothers, I mean, they need to step it up and get this team playing from the word go. The longer you leave it, the harder it gets in the tournament and during the game within 90 minutes. You know, they've also got an evening game, so that'll help them quite a bit. But Benin, never easy to beat these guys. Like most African teams, if you don't step up, you're going to battle because they set their stall out. There are a lot of French coaches in there, so they'll come against the bigger team and set it out to say, let's play for a draw, keep it tight. If we sneak a goal, they've got to come and get it. Tough games. On pedigree, you would think Ghana would win it. Yeah,
I got to think so. Now, Gab, last but not least, we didn't get a slide of it. The top goal scorer in the competition. Mo Salah, 4 to 1. Sadio Mane, 7 to 1. Nicolas Pepe, the Ivorian, 10 to 1. Odion Igalo, top Nigerian striker, 12 to 1. And your man, Moroccan Ziyech, you taking 20 to 1 top goal scorer?
Yeah, you got to look at. I wouldn't mind taking a bet on Ziyech because I think he has the pedigree to score goals. I mean, he can score goals in the Champions League. He should be able to score. You got to say to which team's going to get deep in the competition and which team. So Mo Salah for Egypt, you're expecting them to make the final. All countries expecting them to make the final. Yeah. So if they do, his goals will get them there. If you go to the Ivory Coast and you've got Sani and those guys playing, you expect them to score goals. Yeah. So it's a tough one. Whoever gets off to the best start to early rounds. You might get a team that will win 3 or 4-0 and the guy gets 3 goals in one game. He could hang on at 4 or 5 goals and win the tournament as top goal scorer. But yeah, tough to predict that.
Yeah, it's sort of markets I really enjoy. Yeah. We end with the MLS fixtures. I'll go through it quickly here. Cincinnati against Zlatan Ibrahimovic's LA Galaxy. who have won their last 2 away games. Cincinnati, who've just recently come into the MLS, have lost the last 4 league games. I know home form is a massive advantage. It's a tough game, but 17-10 LA Galaxy would be my play if I did to have a bet. Now, Chicago at home will be too good for Real Salt Lake. Chicago have won 3 and drawn 1 of their last 4, while Real Salt Lake have only taken 1 point from their last 4 away league games. Dallas against Toronto, 2 out-of-form teams. Dallas are the better team, but 26-10 Dallas, the draw definitely looks a play in a game where I don't think there'll be many goals. Our second page, we have Vancouver against Colorado. Another game where both teams are out of form. While 9-10 Vancouver, is the favourite, I'm siding towards the draw. Vancouver in the draw for me. Now, Portland, believe it or not, have only played 1 game at home this season because their stadium was revamped. I think 7-10 to beat Houston at home is a good price. So I'll be taking Portland 7-10. And the last game, Columbus Crew, going well at home, but Sporting Kansas City are always a trick team. And if ever there's a team in the MLS that's capable of throwing smashes, it's them. Columbus and the draw for me in that particular game. On to our exotics for the weekend. Our first soccer 6, I've gone the field in the Democratic Republic of Congo against Uganda. I've gone Banked Nigeria to beat Burundi. I've gone the field with Bolivia against Venezuela. I'm looking for a result, especially with Brazil being in mediocre form in the Copa America. I've gone Brazil win and draw against Peru. I've sided with Guinea, win and draw against Madagascar, and I think the USA will be too good for Trinidad and Tobago, 2-1-6. Our second soccer 6, I've gone Italy, win and draw against Belgium. I've gone the field in the Cincinnati LA Galaxy match. I've banked Chicago Fire to beat Real Salt Lake. I've gone Dallas, win and draw at home against Toronto. I've gone the field in the Vancouver Whitecaps versus Colorado Rapids game, and I've banked Portland Timbers to beat Houston Dynamo, 2-1-6. On to our soccer 10, I've banked Nigeria to beat Burundi. I've gone the field in the Belarusian game between Shakhtar and Dynamo Brest. I've gone Italy, under 21, win and draw against Belgium. I've gone Spain, win and draw against Poland. I've gone LA Galaxy, win and draw at Cincinnati. The second page, I've banked Chicago to beat Real Salt Lake. I've banked USA to beat Trinidad and Tobago. I've gone Dallas, win and draw at home against Toronto. I've gone the field in the Vancouver Whitecaps Colorado Rapids game. And I've banked Portland Timbers to beat Houston Dynamo, 288. On to our Soccer 13, which is only on Sunday this weekend. I've gone Albright, win and draw at Brahma Pochkana. I've banked Halmstad to beat RK Frej. I've gone Karlstad, win and draw at Narkopings BIS. I've gone the field in the Sand Vikings Karlstad BK game. I've gone Vasselins, win and draw at home against Sylvia. I've banked Colombia to beat Paraguay. Argentina to beat Qatar. I've gone Algeria, win and draw against Kenya, looking for an upset. I've banked Morocco to beat Namibia. Senegal to beat Tanzania. I've gone Ivory Coast, win and draw against South Africa. I've gone Gaze Gothenburg, win and draw at home against Degerfors. And I've banked Varberg Bois to beat Osters away from home, 326. On to our budgies bets for the weekend. I've started off with an AFCON treble. I've gone Egypt and Nigeria to win their groups and Senegal to lift the trophy, 2,400 to 200. I've gone Nigeria to score in both halves. I've gone Senegal to win by more than 1 goal. And I've gone under 2.5 goals in the Algeria, Kenya and Morocco, Namibia games, 3,000 to 200. My MLS quartet, I've gone Portland to beat Houston and both teams to score. I've gone Chicago to beat Real Salt Lake and over 1.5 total goals. And I've gone win and draw LA Galaxy against Cincinnati and Colorado against Vancouver, 2,700 to 200. My Norwegian fiver this week, I've gone Christiansson to beat Stabæk. I've gone Oddball Club to beat Haugesund. I've gone Rosenborg to win at Tromsø. I've gone Vålerenga to beat Sarpsborg. and I've gone both teams to score. Brand versus Lillestrøm, 5,300 to 200. Onto my Swedish quad for the weekend. I've gone Halmstad to beat RK Frej. I've gone Mjolby to beat Brej. I've gone Varberg to beat Osters, and I've gone both teams to score. Gaze against Degerfors, 2,600 to 200. And my 6 on Exa, I've gone Nigeria to beat Burundi. I've gone Senegal to beat Tanzania. I've gone Portland to beat Houston. I've gone Varberg to beat Osters. I've gone Christiansen to beat Stabæk, and I've gone Rosenborg to beat Tromsø, 4,800 to 200. Gav, I know you're always interested in the punt. What are you going for this weekend?
Well, the tough tournament to start, but I think we'll just go for the sure things. I would think with the sure things: Nigeria, Morocco, and Senegal. I think those three at 1 to 3, 4 to 10, you should get about 12, 14 to 10.
Okay.
Start off with a winning bet.
And my best bet for the weekend, I'm going for Odd Ball Club in Norway. And my best value bet, I've had a look, there wasn't much value I found, and I'm taking the LA Galaxy at 17 to 10 to win in Cincinnati. Have a safe and happy punting weekend.